If you are familiar with the world of anime, you have likely experienced situations that would leave outsiders to this fascinating universe bewildered. Sometimes, as you delve into a series, you encounter plots or characters so peculiar that you wonder what on earth you are watching. That's why I bring you the top 8 weirdest animes that will test your sanity. Get ready for the eccentric, stay on guard, and consider having your psychologist's number handy. Warning, spoilers ahead. Top 8. Lovely Heart. A high school student who plays P-tops on her teacher right after being scolded by him. Aina has always been a cheerful and energetic girl, so he thought it was just simple rebellion. However, he later discovers that the jokes and teasing were Aina's immature way of showing affection to her teacher. Let's kick off this list with something light, as the only ones bothered by this, H, will be the pedobear haters, and the H itself is not noteworthy. In fact, we could even say it's boring and that there are better animes of this style since its first episode would have gone unnoticed if not for its oddity. At the beginning, the anime starts with a delayed action. Just as you gear up to enjoy every minute, the action halts, and a musical begins instead. However, this musical is so anticlimactic that you'll wonder if Disney invested money in this anime, as the scene feels like it's from a princess movie, leaving you confused and unsure whether to continue watching or switch it off. Nonetheless, if you decide to keep watching the H, you'll be in for a pleasant surprise. After all the dancing, both the action and characters improve, and the second episode is much better than the first. Besides, if you don't like seeing Wi-Fi's being forced, Amara saves this anime as they take the initiative and involve us in sweet school romance. Top 7. Simon Yutsu. He is an introverted and vengeful boy who has lived under his mother's strict rules since childhood, always reminding him of his uselessness and ineptitude. However, he has somehow endured it and longed for his aunt and cousin, the only ones who have shown him a bit of affection. With an empty and meaningless life, he awaited the day of his death. But everything changed when he met his neighbor, who taught him the art of hypnosis. To be honest, this H is among the most normal you'll find in this list. Apart from the incest and Yuri, everything unfolds like a common H. However, it's thanks to its hypnosis and fantasy factor that many scenes become bizarre without warning. They leave you puzzled on more than one occasion as both the setting and character designs become so surreal that you'll question if you change chapters inadvertently. On the other hand, unlike the protagonist who lacks personality and becomes forgettable, each Wi-Fi has a different personality, technique, and design. They might make you want to see more of them, no matter how weird the anime gets. Top 6. Kafung Shoujo Chufa. Every spring season, the city of Tokyo is invaded by the pollen girls, who are fun-loving girls that enjoy playing P-tops on all pollen-allergic individuals. Everyone must carry their medications if they don't want to fall victim to their ruthless attacks. This is a highly entertaining anime, with scenes filled with comedy, romance, and plenty of action where it's normal to see more than 7 people playing in the same location. What makes this H strange is its concept, as the pollen girls fall from the sky and attack indiscriminately, regardless of gender. The setting can be on a train, in a field, in an office, at the pool, on the roof of an amusement park, or anywhere there's an allergic person. While the protagonists may be forgettable, their actions are not, as their poses and movements energize each episode. The anime takes its time to crack a few jokes that will make you laugh, leaving you ecstatic and rejuvenated by the end. Top 5. Starless. Sartari is a young man who goes for a job interview at a mansion in the mountains to become a servant for the Mamila family. The pay is 4 million yen, so during the interview, he undergoes a test to see if he's suitable for the role he wants to play. However, he never imagined how strange his life would be in this mansion, where he constantly wonders if he's in heaven or hell. To be honest, the first episode is entirely normal. The action scenes are good, and the characters are likable. However, things take a turn starting from the second episode, where a festival emerges, and they throw a party filled with cuddles and hugs. From there on, things get increasingly strange, and various fetishes come to light, ranging from the delightful to the unpleasant. While it never reaches the point where you want to quit the anime, it certainly may discomfort sensitive individuals. On the other hand, its story is almost non-existent, driven mostly by its oddity and the multiple waifus presented, whom you may want to see at their best for one reason or another. However, the downside of this, is that the design of all characters is nearly identical. In fact, if not for their hair color and personalities, you might think you're watching the same character in different situations. Still, this is perfect for gradually overcoming any fears. Top 4 Futabu. This is a girl who enrolls in an all-girls school. However, due to her curious nature, she decides to join the Futa Club. This is a place where 4 beautiful ladies gather, but no one knows the purpose behind it. Imuru will use all her power and skills to uncover the truth about the mystery, where only a select group of people can be admitted. Watching this anime, you might feel like you're in for a ton of yuri, with all kinds of girls with different styles. From the reliable Nessun to the sweet high school girl. Just when we were ready for action, we're taken aback by the huge cannons these girls hide, so large that even a whale would be envious. But if you think girls with spears are strange, you're mistaken because their weapons are quite normal. And get ready for thousands of liters of coconut water, hot springs with fresh milk flavor, and human trains with bulging abs. The imagery is so bizarre that after seeing that, a human centipede might seem like a kid's movie. However, I'm not saying it's a bad On the contrary, the absurd action scenes and the different designs and personalities of the waifus make this a very memorable leaving you both disgusted and intrigued. Top 3 Seiten Jingwei. In a fantasy world where humans coexist with other races like elves, fairies, lamias, slimes, and centaurs, a man has married a beautiful woman, centaur, and together they run a grand tavern. But when night falls and the business closes, the couple focuses on showing each other how much they love. It's no surprise that monster girls are loved and adored by a large part of the public. Taku, an anime like Monster Musume or Monster Girl Quest make us envious of how cute the waifus are. These animes aim to romanticize relationships between humans and demi-humans. However, this presents something more realistic. Don't be fooled by that pretty face, because what awaits in the room will keep you up at night, no matter how seasoned you are. Only a true sicko would remain indifferent seeing a huge arm breach the unknown barrier and play with his wife's entrails as if they were a punching bag. While surrounded by a romantic atmosphere and with no harm coming to any waifus, the is undeniably quite bizarre. However, the aforementioned only covers the first half. The other stories are even stranger, to the extent that it ends up like a typical romance anime. Top 2 Dropout. She was the top student in her school and had never received a bad grade. However, she suddenly becomes a dropout. Dropouts are people who lack the intelligence or talent to be admitted to university, so they are treated as mere slaves, assigned to those who were admitted and must do everything possible to satisfy their masters. In this case, Reika is assigned to a former schoolmate named Mimi, who will try to figure out why Reika became a dropout. At first glance, this seems like a typical with outstanding animation and beautiful characters, where the story is just an excuse to unleash the imagination. But just when everything seems done and you start to enjoy the sadomasochism, the level of escalates hardcore, making you cringe. Out of nowhere, you might see the Wi-Fi scuts leaving their bodies and bouncing around like springs. While veterans might find this normal, we must admit that many were paralyzed the first time they saw it. For better or for worse, it's an unforgettable Top 1 Euphoria. 2 girls and 6 others find themselves locked in a white room with no idea how they got there. As they try to figure out the situation, a voice echoes through the room and begins to explain the rules. If they want to leave, they must unlock the doors. Kizuki will take on the role of the key, and the girls as the locks. To move to the next room, both the key and the locks must participate in a mysterious game. If we had to summarize this anime, it's like the Saw movies but in a juicy version, as the waifus are subjected to a myriad of humiliations and tortures, each worse than the last, making many feel nauseous. Especially those not accustomed to hardcore and sim games. On the other hand, if you haven't stopped the anime, it's likely due to its story, which is quite intriguing. The mysteries presented and the way they unfold will make your brain explode as you try to understand what's happening. Far from just focusing on action, the H aims to provide a gripping story that will keep you hooked. Regardless of how much we see the Wi-Fi's hurt, we want to see it through to the end. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on each action. You can check out more videos like these on the channel. Bye.